CNN, the most trusted name in news.
Top story in health. A provocative new study in the research journal Intelligence claims that men have higher intelligence than women. Oh, yeah, right? Well, we sent our senior medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, to settle this controversy. Who's really smarter, men or women? That's tonight's Mystery of the Mind.
Catherine Monkman and Gaurav Puri are a good match. Both had near-perfect undergraduate GPAs. And both are second-year med students at the Schulich School of Medicine in Western Ontario.
We're both pretty much equally intelligent. I would say that Catherine's a little more intelligent than I am. And
I would say he's a flatterer.
So confident they're equal, they agreed to take a little test for us, graded by Professor Phil Rushton. He's the psychologist who ignited a new round in the who's smarter, men or women debate.
When you extract the general factor of intelligence, males, on average, score 3.6, 4 IQ points higher than women.
Rushton's bold conclusion that men have higher IQs is based on his study of the SAT scores of 100,000 17 and 18-year-olds, 50,000 male, 50,000 female. Now, if you think one sex would naturally do better on math or verbal, Rushton says forget it, that he factored out the bias, finding men on average outscored women by nearly 4 IQ points. Even Rushton admits that's tiny, but says it explains why you see fewer women in top jobs.
Once you start getting out to IQ levels of 115 or 130, which you need for the highest job, you're going to get proportions of 60-40, 70-30, 80-20 of men over women.
Rushton's research begs the question, why? It's Darwinian, he says. Women favored men who were adept at hunting beyond the base camp. So from an evolutionary standpoint, women helped create more intelligent men. Rushton's critics charge his conclusions are skewed, and he has an agenda.
We have a very long history of science being used for political purposes, and I think this is just another example of that.
And not the first. Former Harvard President Larry Summers threw gas on the fire of sexual politics by suggesting women's innate sex differences explain why there are so few women in top math and science careers. But are there really any innate sex differences? This is a human brain, on display at the Mental Illness and Neurodiscovery, or MIND Institute. You can't tell if it's a male or a female, but the male brain is in fact around 15% bigger by comparison. While researchers have found a correlation between intelligence and brain size, men don't declare yourselves the smartest yet. One of the country's top brain researchers tells me it's not size, but brain organization that matters.
The areas of the brain related to intelligence in women tend to be more in the front. In men, they tend to be more in these side areas. Intelligence in general is normally distributed and equally distributed in men and women.
Now, back to our highly unscientific quiz. Gaurav scored a perfect 10 out of 10. Catherine missed just one question. But does she think Gaurav or any of her male colleagues are smarter because they're men?
I would have to say no.
And both agree that success as a doctor, as success in life, is measured by more than IQ.
Hard work can compensate for a lack of IQ, but IQ probably can't compensate for a lack of hard work.
So, the last word on sex and intelligence? Scientists at the MIND Institute say someday brain scans may replace IQ tests altogether. It may be worth revisiting the issue then. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN, New York.
All right, I'm sure many of you are still arguing about this out there, and in the interest of domestic tranquility, maybe you'd like to take an IQ test with your mate. You can check out our website at cnn.com/Paula and look for Mysteries of the Mind and solve this once and for all.